I'm getting this sense that you're hurting. Maybe a relationship didn't work, a friendship didn't work, an opportunity didn't come to you the way you wanted it to, right? And we tend to have this tendency of dwelling in what we wanted and how we wanted it and why we wanted it. And we spend so much time in those feelings of, well, why didn't this work? Or why didn't he want me? Why didn't she want me? Why didn't I get the promotion? We just spend all this time in the why. Like, why this and why that? And a couple of things. When you do that, you're focusing on the bad, right? We have a tendency of looking at things from a negative perspective, especially when we're feeling negative. But I encourage you to look at it from a different perspective, right? And I know this because this is what I used to do. One thing on my channel is I'm always going to talk to you guys how I used to think. And, you know, maybe I'm also talking to myself in the moment. Maybe I'm going through something too. You can't continue to live in the what ifs and what could have been and what should have been. You are draining yourself. And I wanted to tell you that you are literally being your own worst enemy right now. All of the tears that you've cried, all of the frustration, the anger, the resentment, the bitterness, baby, you're not doing anything for you. You are giving so much energy into that person or into that situation, and you're not giving the energy back to you, which is where the beauty is. I know it hurt. Trust me. I know it hurts. Whatever you're going through, I know it hurts. Been there, done that. But you can't continue to allow the hurt to carry on day after day after day, hour after hour. You're living in the past because you don't want to let it go. But you have to let it go. If you don't let it go, the memories will continue to overwhelm you and make you feel the way you feel right now. How can you see the beauty in today when you're living in the ugliness and the darkness of yesterday? You're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see it. And let's break it down. Maybe you're hurting from a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a partnership, a situationship, whatever they're calling it these days. It didn't work. And you wanted it to work because you saw the potential in them. You saw the potential in the relationship. You're literally living in the beautiful parts of it. And that's why it's crushing you so much. But if the relationship was truly beautiful, if it was truly, you know, what you had hoped for it to be, it wouldn't have ended. Stop focusing on what was good about that person. Because 9 times out of 10, you're allowing the few good traits that they had to outweigh all of the bad ones. And so you're holding on to a few good moments that you guys had or a few good conversations, and that's what you're feeling. You're feeling the loss of those few instances where things were good. But what about all the things that were bad? You don't want to think about those. Because if you really thought about the things that were going bad, you would realize that this is a blessing in disguise. You would realize that this needed to end so that I can go do better, right? Yes. But you are not going to see it like that if you keep holding on to the what ifs and the could haves and the should haves and the why nots. I want you to understand that you're grieving the loss of the relationship, the friendship, but more importantly, you're grieving the loss of who you used to be. That's who you used to be. The person that you were in that friendship or in that relationship, that person no longer exists. Why? Because you're going to develop. You're going to self-develop. You are going to change yourself in good ways, not bad ways. You're not going to allow the toxicity of that relationship change you for the worse. You're going to allow it to change you for the better. Because now what you're going to do, what I did, is I looked at where did I go wrong in this relationship. See, we also have a tendency of always wanting to point the finger at other people and what they did to us. Living in a victim mindset. We can't do that. No more victim. You're not a victim. I don't care what happened. You are not a victim. You are an empowered woman. You are an empowered man. Where did you go wrong? Did you see the good in someone, even though they constantly showed you the bad? Were you giving them the benefit of the doubt? Were you ignoring your gut? If you're anything like me, you were ignoring your gut. See, your gut is God. And God is telling you everything you need to know. But we get so wrapped up in the potential of someone, the potential of the friendship, the potential of the relationship, that we tend to ignore God. And baby, you can't keep ignoring God. Every time I ignored God and went against my gut, I always regretted it later. There has never been a time where I ignored my gut and my overthinking and my hypersensitivity, as some will call it, or you know how people are. Oh, you're just being overly dramatic. There's never been a time where I was that and I was wrong. So where did you go wrong? Did you keep giving them chance after chance to change, but you saw that they weren't? That's just who they are, and that's who they're always going to be. Wipe your tears, babe. Wipe your tears. You can't change someone, and you wanted to. You wanted to change them, and that's also where you went wrong. Stop wanting to change people. Take them for who they are. That's unfair to them. Whether the changes that you were trying to make were going to be beneficial or not, it's unfair for you to try to change someone and not allow them to be who they are. Even if who they are is hurting you and hurting them, you cannot change someone. They have to want to change themselves. But we're not going to focus any more energy on them. I want to focus on you. I want to put the focus back on you. I want you to start pouring into you. I want you to wipe your eyes and focus on you. Focus on regaining who you are, but in a better form. No longer will you be the naive woman or the naive man. No longer will you ignore your gut feeling. No longer will you continue to allow people to disrespect you and take advantage of you and take you for granted. No longer will you be that person. No longer will you pour your energy into people who do not reciprocate it back to you. No longer will you put someone else's needs before yours. You will no longer be that person. We're about to be in 2025. One thing is, I do hate New Year's resolutions because I don't think we have to wait till the new year to change. I believe that we can change right now. Right now, this very moment. I want you to hold your head up high and regain your power. Stop texting, stop calling. Stop. Unfriend them or block them from your social. It's not about, oh, well, I want them to see me doing good. We're not focused on them anymore. You've done too much focusing on them. For however long you were in that friendship or that situationship, that dealingship with them, you have focused too much of your time, energy, and effort on them. And now we're bringing it back to us. It's not about them seeing how good you're doing. It's not about, well, if I unfriend them, then they're going to know they triggered me, or they're going to know. It doesn't matter. We're focused on ourselves and on our healing. Because how can you be the greater version of yourself if you keep living in the moments of who you used to be? I want you to hold your head high. Remind yourself that you are not a victim. You had to go through this. You had to experience this pain. Because on the other side of the pain is an amazing person who will no longer allow people to make them feel like they're less than, who will no longer allow someone to take away their glow. No more losing sleep. No more worrying about what they're doing. It's not your problem anymore. You don't have to worry about if they're lying to you. Let them lie to someone else. Let them disrespect someone else. Let them treat someone else like that. No longer you. You're going to rebuild your confidence. You're going to pour into yourself. You're going to start eating right. You're going to start exercising. You're going to start working on all of the goals and the dreams that you had before them. Before they came into your life and caused chaos. Maybe you didn't know who you were. They came at a moment where you were feeling vulnerable. They came in a moment where you were codependent. You needed something. You got what you needed. You got the lesson. That's what you needed. God gave you the lesson. So stop looking at it like, oh, I'm not good enough. No, they're not good enough for you. And let me ask you this. If they never changed anything about themselves, can you truly sit here and say that you were happy? Not about who they could be, but who they are today or the last time you talked to them. Can you sit there and say that you were happy? Probably not. I know you couldn't, because you were so focused on changing them. But I want you to start focusing on changing you. I want you to change you. Whatever they told you that you couldn't do, I'm here to tell you that you can. You can. And you will. I want you to regain control of your life. I want you to regain control of your mind. You've been allowing them too much headspace for free. No more, no more, no more. We're not doing that. No more. I want you to find your purpose in life and work on that every day. Whatever it is, whether it makes money or not. What truly makes you happy? Do you even know? Or did you give so much of your time, energy, and effort into that person, into that friendship, that you now no longer know who you are and what you like? What do you want for you? If you don't know, this is the time to find out. Don't accept any more phone calls or texts. You're in your healing zone. You're healing. You are transforming. You are going to be a way better man or woman without them. If they made you feel so low, then you can only get higher. You can only elevate, right? You can't get any lower. You're going to learn how to validate yourself. You're going to learn that the only thing that matters is how you feel about you, not how someone else feels about you. That's giving way too much power to someone else. Oh, they must not like me. I must not be good enough. No, they're not good enough for you. Don't you ever again allow someone to take away how you feel about you. Don't ever do that again. That's a dark place to be. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for anybody. You can be your own best friend. I actually encourage you to be your own best friend. Take yourself out. Do something nice for you. Go get your hair done. Go get your nails done. That's why I said start eating healthy. Start getting active. That's for you. It's not, oh, well, I want them to see how good I look. No, we're done with them. We are done with them. Cut the cord. That's why I said delete and block. It's not about showing and impressing them and, oh, look at what they could have had. It's not about that, because that's still you giving them your energy. It is about you putting your energy into you and your craft. What truly fulfills you. That's what this is about. I know it hurts. I know you're hurting. But I want you to wipe your tears, baby. Wipe your tears. And say no more. No more am I going to allow someone to make me feel the way they made me feel. When you see the red flags from here on out, let it go. Moving forward. If you see the inconsistencies moving forward, no more. If you feel the gut feeling, let it go. Don't hold on. You're not overthinking. You're not being overly dramatic. You're not hypersensitive. That is God telling you to leave. Stop talking to them. There is 7 billion people in this world. You can find somebody else. Better yet, somebody else is going to find you. But not today. Not next week. Not next month. I don't want you jumping into another relationship, another friendship, another partnership, except for the one with self. We're no longer bouncing from one person to the next to avoid feeling how we feel. No. No. You are going to enter into a relationship with self. You are going to learn how to be happy with yourself. Because wouldn't it be better to be happy by yourself than miserable with someone else? There's no more bouncing around. No. Pour into you. I want you to spend 6 months, a year, several years just being your own best friend and loving you and fixing you, so that when the next person enters your life, they get the upgraded version of you. The version that's no longer bitter, that's no longer hurt, that's no longer naive, that's no longer desperate, but someone who is complete by themselves. And they will also be complete by themselves. And together, you guys will have a beautiful relationship. A positive relationship. A respectful relationship. All right? Wipe your eyes, babe. It's going to be okay.